Yes guys, it's FPL Guy here and welcome back to the channel. How you guys doing? As you read from the title, in today's video I'll be showcasing my team for the upcoming game week and I'll be explaining what my transfer plans are and what kind of things I'm thinking about going into game week 2. Just before I do so, let's actually have a look at how the FPL Guy mini league is looking like. So here it is. Currently sitting on top we have AAA or Amper Aaron. Let's actually have a look at a team. So 120 points, very nice start with a triple captain on Salah, which really paid off, and now you don't really have to worry about the triple captainship for the rest of the season, which is a nice bonus. Fernandez, I mean, got a hat-trick, what can I say? Benrahma, Antonio doing business. Richarlison, a very nice differential, not many people went for him. Currently 14.3% owned, but I think in game week 1 he was under 10%. Firmino as well, very low owned, especially in game week 1. He's probably jumped up a little bit after his performance. He was benched and came on for a goal, which is nice. We'll take those, right? We don't complain. As for your defense, quite unlucky. I mean, against Brentford and Leeds, we were expecting maybe a clean sheet for at least one of those games. Unfortunately, I mean, your defense got 1 point all round and then Martinez with 2. And the clean sheets came on your bench as Tsimikas and Amati. Quite unfortunate. However, speaking of the Arsenal and United defence, Tierney looked incredibly sharp against Brentford. He was putting a lot of balls into the ball. He was very attacking. And after the Chelsea and City games, I'm definitely going to be considering him for my own team. And let's actually see your rank, 4.1k. Phenomenal start. Let's go back and look at the rest of you guys on the first page. So FC Salah, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but just a point behind, 119 at 5.1k. Very nice start. Literally everyone on this page, if I scroll down, if you're on the first page of the FPL Guy mini league, then you've had a cracking start, and hopefully you guys can carry on that momentum into game week 2. Literally everyone on this list, congratulations on your start. Let's actually have a look at how my team performed. So here is my team, currently at 98 points after game week 1 with a rank of 510,000. Now I do want to mention, if you are in the millions currently, then do not worry at all. Literally, if I had 10 more points, I'll be in top 100k. If I had 10 less points, I'll be around 1.5/2 million rank. So it's really close at the moment. So don't worry about your rank at the moment. Don't even look at it. If it stresses you out, don't even look at it. After about game week 5 to 6, then maybe, yeah, you can start paying attention and start trying to climb into the top 100k, top 10k, whatever your target is, let's say. But for now, don't worry at all. So for myself, 98 points, above average, which we always want to be, and 510k. And if we actually have a look at the team specifically, Sanchez conceding to Burnley, I didn't expect it. I thought he would keep that clean sheet, but, you know, they conceded, things happen like that. White, again, I did not expect them to concede 2. I thought they would keep a clean sheet, but conceding 2 was definitely a surprise. Hopefully they can pick up form in the next 2 games against Chelsea and City. They probably will concede, but hopefully their defense can solidify a little bit more for the games afterwards, which I definitely will be playing White in. As for Trent, clean sheet, was expecting that. Could have got an attacking return, so yeah, he's sticking around definitely. Shaw as well, unfortunately got a yellow card and conceded, so came out with 1 point, but I do see him getting some attacking returns in the near future, so he will definitely be staying. As for the midfield, this is where it got quite interesting. Benrahma, Salah, Jota, Fernandez, all returning, all fantastic picks. If you had Antonio as well, 13 points I think he got, phenomenal. Captaincy, Fernandez was obviously the best one. If you had Fernandez captain, then congratulations. Even if you had Salah like myself, we done incredibly well. Jota and Greenwood as well was the other one at 7.5, who also got 8 points. He's starting centrally at the moment, and I do expect him against Southampton to also start as a striker. So if you have him, then he's going to be quite a nice option. Maybe even a differential captaincy if you're looking for a differential option. El Ghazi was a disappointing option for me. I did expect him to have some sort of goal involvement, although Aston Villa didn't really perform that well on the day, and El Ghazi coming off at 59 minutes just put the cherry on top with the 1 point. As for the attack, Ings getting that 97th minute penalty, just what we like to see, and Wilson started off really strongly, first 5 minutes got the goal, but after that went really quiet. As for the bench, Ailing, surprise goal. I did not expect the goal, but what a goal it was. If you saw that goal, it was a fantastic goal. And that's why we get these players, right? These 4.5 options. We go for the people who are likely to get some sort of returns. And he's shown that in the first game week. Unfortunately, for me, he was on the bench. But I think I will be starting him for game week 2, as I'll show you guys in a moment. So overall, not too bad. I'm happy with this start. Let's jump into the game week 2 team. So this is the likely squad that I'll be going to game week 2 with. Not much has changed, to be honest, but what I have done is I've moved Mr. White onto the bench where every Arsenal defender should be. No, I'm just kidding. Any Arsenal supporters, I'm just joking. But against Chelsea, I definitely don't see a clean sheet after that performance against Brentford that we saw. So he's going to be on the bench. And I've replaced him with Ailing. Now against Everton do look very, very attacking in the previous game. So I'm not really expecting a clean sheet, especially after conceding 5 goals against United. I'm not seeing a clean sheet for Leeds. However, Ailing is there for the attacking returns. He did get that goal, and I'm not saying he's going to get another goal this game, but he was putting quite a few crosses into the box. So there is a chance for some sort of goal involvement. As for Cody, I am still considering him as a starter over Ailing because there is a small, better chance, I should say, for Wolves to get a clean sheet over Leeds. So that is something I'm still considering. But as for now, I think Ailing will be the starter. And then alongside Ailing, we have Trent and Shaw. They're not going anywhere against Burnley and Southampton. Potential clean sheets there. And also, obviously, they have that attacking ability. So they're sticking. Sanchez as well. I've got still on the bench. So obviously, Sanchez is the one who's going to start. Moving on to the midfield. Now, if El Ghazi starts, then I see him getting some sort of involvement in goals. Hopefully. I said that last time, to be honest, and he didn't get anything. Got subbed off at 59 minutes. But he is a very attacking player, you know. He does get a lot of shots away in the box, and he's quite, you can say, selfish as well. So if he does start, which I'm not sure if he will, because Bailey, he was back and he got the assist, so he might start over El Ghazi. But if El Ghazi starts, then he's definitely going to be in my team, and fingers crossed that he gets some sort of attacking returns this time. Salah and Fernandes, obviously, there's really not much to say about them. They're here, they're going to start whatever fixture they're in almost. And then we also have Jota. Now, hopefully he starts this game, but again, we're not sure. Firmino came on and he scored as well. So there is a potential option for me to go to Greenwood, who I think has a better opportunity to start. And if he does, he will be playing centrally. And then finally, we have Benrahma against Leicester. I think this is going to be quite a tight game, to be honest. Not many goals will be scored in this game. But Benrahma, he looked pretty decent. He looked good in that game. He got, I think it was a goal and assist, right? So he's looking good. I don't really have any other options, to be honest. I'm not going to play Cody over Benrahma. I always favour the attacker, so Benrahma is in the squad. And finally, Ings and Wilson playing against each other. I do see quite a few goals in this game, to be honest. Neither of their defence is pretty solid, so both defence are going to leak goals. It's just who's going to leak them more. Hence, I do think that they're both pretty decent shots for this game week. As for captaincy, I am just going to talk about Salah and Fernandes as they're probably the most popular ones. If you're looking for a differential, I think Shaw, Trent, Jota and Greenwood are probably the best ones. And obviously if you have a City player, because I know not many people have City players, but if you do, then I'm going to talk about them in a little bit later on, but they are also someone you can consider. But do keep in mind they're obviously a rotation risk under Pep, and so we can't guarantee their starting positions. For myself, it's a debate between Salah and Fernandes. At the moment, I have it on Fernandes because I do prefer that Southampton game over the Burnley game. Southampton did look a little bit more shaky in the first game week than what Burnley did. And I think Fernandes, his confidence was already so high. And after that game week 1 performance against Leeds, his confidence is out of this world right now. So the armband is currently on Bruno Fernandes. And as for my vice captain, I should just point out it's going to be on Salah. I think I didn't save it and therefore it's still on Wilson, but my vice captain will be on Mohamed Salah. Let's move on to everyone's favourite part of the video. It's Tinker time. Now, obviously a lot of people are talking about that City game, right? That's probably the best fixture. So it is City against Norwich. Where is it? Oh, right here. City against Norwich. That's probably the standout fixture alongside maybe the United and Liverpool game, but even then, the Norwich against City, that's standout. So everyone is looking to get a City player and everyone is sort of debating who's the best player. For me, honestly, there's not much I can do with the squad I have and that 1 million in the bank to get in Mahrez or Grealish or De Bruyne, Sterling, these guys. But the one player I can get is Ferran Torres. Now, he started in Game Week 1. Will he start again? If he does, I think he's a great differential pick against Norwich. He's only going to be in my team for 1 week if I get him. And if I do get him, he's probably going to come in for El Ghazi because his spot in that Aston Villa side is not guaranteed. So I think that going for Torres instead of El Ghazi is probably the move to go for, even though Benrahma has that trickier fixture against Leicester. This is something that I am looking into. If there's a good chance Torres starts, I think I'll be making this move as a differential move. It is a risky move because he's going to only be in my team for 1 week, because afterwards, again, he's not guaranteed to start in the next 2-3 game weeks. So I just want him for that Norwich game. If you guys are looking for a City player, then let's actually bring out their entire team so we can talk a bit more about them. I mean, we're really just looking at their attack, right? If you have their defense already, then that's great. They probably will get that clean sheet. But if you don't have their defense and you want to get in a City player, then obviously I do recommend you just go for one of their attackers. Now, Gundogan is looking like he won't be able to feature in that Norwich game. So I do think that Mahrez, even though his performance wasn't great in the first game week, I still think that he could start in this Norwich fixture. So if you are looking for a City player, I think Mahrez is probably the best player with the highest ceiling, especially with those penalties under his belt. Apart from him, I think Grealish is probably going to start, and he was probably one of the better players in that Game Week 1 fixture. Now, De Bruyne did come on in the final couple of minutes, last 11 minutes of the game, and if he starts, I think he's probably the best player, even better than Mahrez, but that is if he starts this game. So in order of preference, for me, if these guys all start, so assuming that they start, it's going to be De Bruyne, Mahrez, then Grealish, to be honest. That's the order that I would go for. But as I said, I don't really have the money for them. I've only got enough to get in Torres. So if he does start, then I may go for a nice differential, cheeky differential pick with him. Now, what I'm also considering is to get Greenwood. But obviously, I don't have money to go from El Ghazi or Benrahma to Greenwood since he's 7.5. So the best option is to remove Jota. That's only because he's not nailed on. That's why I'm considering Greenwood, because he has a better chance of starting. And against Southampton, I do think he is a better pick. So something like this we could get. But this isn't something that I'm going to forcefully get. If Jota has a chance of starting, then I'm more than happy to play him against Burnley. And then that way I'll obviously save a transfer as well. Another player which I'd like to mention here is going to be Dennis from Watford. He had 5 shots and 5 of them were in the box. Definitely someone you need to consider. Let me actually just bring him up. Dennis here. So 75% chance of playing, but currently I'm not really looking at him against Brighton or Spurs. But afterwards, from Game Week 4 onwards, you know, as long as he's fit, ready to play, I do think he's actually a really good option. He got a goal and assists against Aston Villa. Looked really good, and especially at 5 million, someone to really keep an eye on. Let's walk through each fixture and I'll give you guys my opinions on them. So first up, Liverpool-Burnley. I mean, a lot of us have already got a triple up in Liverpool, and I think that's perfect. Against Burnley, I do expect a clean sheet and potentially 2 to 3 goals for Liverpool. So that's really good. Now, Aston Villa and Newcastle, neither of them really looked that good in defense. So I do think that they're both going to leak goals. There's going to be goals from either team, and a lot of people have Danny Ings already. And personally, I have Wilson, so if they do score, hopefully he is involved. If you don't have a Newcastle attacker, I think that's perfectly fine. Aston Villa attack is okay. Crystal Palace, Brentford. I do expect Brentford to win, especially with that attacking form that they showed against Arsenal. Against Crystal Palace, I do expect Brentford to score a few. And if you have Tony, then that's going to be an excellent pick. And Mbeumo is another player which I like to mention. He looked incredibly good at playing alongside Tony as a front two. So at 5 million and listed as a midfielder in FPL, he could be a very, very nice player to own. Leeds Everton. Now, I do think Everton should win this game, but I do see goals from both teams. Everton looking very good attacking wise, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin will definitely be involved if there are some goals. Leeds, if you have Bamford or Rafinha or Harrison, then do not worry. I mean, the first game wasn't their best. Hopefully they pick up some form for you guys, and I do see them getting involved in a goal if Leeds do score. As for City Norwich, I mean, City should easily win this game, probably keep a clean sheet as well. Now, we don't know who's going to start, as I've mentioned, but if you already have some, then keep them. If you have Gundogan, then there's some nice replacements at his price point, which could be Jota or Greenwood or Benrahma. Maybe not against Leicester, but in the future you could get him. You can maybe go for Bailey or Buendia. Another player which you could look at is Salah. He did get expected goal involvement of 0.26, but he created 0 chances and he wasn't at the end of any big chance either. He did have 2 or 3 shots in the box and had 10 penalty area touches. So I think he is someone which I want to see a little bit more from statistically before I consider him in my team. And as I mentioned, Dennis, he had 5 shots and they were all in the box. So at 5 million, he's someone you can consider if you're looking for a forward option. Moving on to the Brighton-Watford game. I mean, I pretty much just spoke about the Watford guys. Brighton, we have a lot of people have Sanchez and maybe even one of their defenders. If you have them, then yeah, that's absolutely fine against Watford. You could maybe see a clean sheet, although I do see both teams scoring. As for Southampton United, a lot of us have Shaw and Bruno and some of us have Greenwood. So those guys are fantastic for this fixture. Moving on to the Wolves and Spurs game. I think this is going to be a lot closer than people think. I do think Wolves could put up a decent fight against Spurs. And it's going to be hard to call for this one. So I'm not entirely sure. If you have Son, then yeah, he's great for this game. If you are going to go for someone from that Spurs team, then Son is obviously your man. As for Arsenal-Chelsea, I do expect Chelsea to win after what we saw how Arsenal played against Brentford. Maybe 2 goals in this game for Chelsea. Arsenal could score, but I don't really see it happening with that Chelsea solidified defense. And finally, we have West Ham-Leicester. I think this is going to be a very good game. Both teams are playing really good. West Ham scoring 4 goals, Leicester winning against Wolves. I see this as a very close game. I do think that both teams will score. In fact, I would actually just say this game we're going to end up with a draw, point each. If you've made it to this part of the video, then thank you so much. And if you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking the video. It really helps out smaller channels like myself, and it just helps spread the video to more people and allows me to share my content. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I'm going to be posting a lot of videos. I'm going to try to improve my videos a lot more all throughout the season to keep you guys informed and entertained all throughout the season. Finally, check out my socials. All of them will be in the description. And if you haven't already joined the FPL Guy Mini League, the code is on the top of the screen. Or if you want to use the auto join link, you can find that down in the description. With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.